Okay, Hank, this question comes from Sydney, who writes, Dear John and Hank, I need some dubious advice on a very important grammatical issue. It's how to shorten the term as per usual. People usually say usual out loud as usual, like as per usual. By the way, when Sydney says people, I think Sydney is referring to her peers who are, I'm guessing, 24 years younger than I am. Anyway, how do you spell the usual in as per usual? Does this make any sense? I just want to be able to write as per usual without saying in parentheses, I shortened that from usual. I mean, Sydney, you are my hero on every level. I love every part of this question.
I think it's pretty clear. I think it's Y-O-O-J.
It's not Y-O-O-J. If you write as per Y-O-O-J, people will actually pronounce. They'll have to like pause and they'll be like, as per huge.
As per huge.
Is Donald Trump saying huge? What is happening with as per huge? No, you got to get the shh in there. So I'm going to go Y-O-O-S-H, as per usual. Nope, that doesn't work either.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's huge. It's Y-O-O-J. W-O-G-H. As per wooge.
That's whoosh. That's an existing word. W-O-O-S-H. We can't use an existing word.
I said G. G-H.
G-H.
But anyway.
Okay, I'm going to go
with... As per
with...
whoosh also works.
I'm going to go with U-D-G-E-E. The second E is silent. It could be pronounced Udgy, but I think that it will get across huge. This is an incredibly difficult question, Hank. This might be the hardest question we've ever been asked to answer on Dear Hank and John.
Y-O-U-S-H, as for ush. Nope. As per ush, as per huge. Huge with a J.
You got to get the
Y-O-U-Z-S-H. Huge.
Y-O-U-Z-S-H. I mean, that is definitely wrong. I'm looking at it. I just typed it out. You're close though. I think
it's also more letters than usual, just to be clear.
Well, yeah, no, there's definitely no way to spell it with fewer letters than are in usual.
No, Y-O-O-J.
Y-O-O-J, huge. But doesn't huge sound like Donald Trump saying huge?
It does, yes.
You've got to get the sh in huge. Is it Y-O-O-S-H? That's yush. Dang it.
As for Y-O-O-J-S-H? As for huge?
Y-O-O-J-S-H. I don't dislike Y-O-O-J-S-H, although it looks very weird.
I agree. It looks very weird.
I mean, I don't know if this is going to be entertaining to our podcast listeners, but you should really see Hank and I's shared Google Doc right now. It's hilarious. It's just Hank and I desperately typing out things that sound vaguely like as per usual. So somewhat on this topic, Hank, when my books are published in languages with other alphabets, especially in like Russian or countries where there is no J sound, they use a mix of the like D and X sound to make the J of like Dijon, basically. It's like Dijon. And there's the like sh sound of the X like letter and the d sound of D. And so they usually translate my name in such a way that I can sort of read the Cyrillic alphabet, but I always read it as like, this book was by D. John Green. And I think we're running up against a similar problem, which is that the Latin alphabet has no way of saying as per usual, which I'm almost going to suggest, Sydney, that even though it's going to make you feel like an old fuddy-duddy, you just spell out usual, because I don't think there's any way that we can get to usual with our alphabet.
What about the O with the umlaut?
Oh,
like Y umlauted O-J-E.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. Wait, how are you spelling it?
Y umlauted U-J-E.
J-E with an umlaut as per usual. No, that's still j. But maybe
it's still usual.
Y.
But like luge, because what I'm hearing is
usual. E.
I can't type an umlauted U, apparently. I don't know how to do it with my keyboard.
Sydney, we figured it out, but it does involve an umlaut, and I don't know if that's on your iPhone keyboard, but I would go with as per usual. I don't know why I assume, by the way, that Sydney has an iPhone and types with an iPhone. It's like I feel like I know her, although I don't. But as per usual with an umlaut is the way. That's the way?
Yeah, maybe just umlauted UJE.
Oh, that's good. Umlauted UJE. That's simple. It's fewer letters than usual. It's as per usual. Nope. I don't like the J. I'm going to stick with Y umlauted U SH. Maybe SHE.
Well, it's possible that we spent enough time talking about
Well,
this, John.
I almost feel like we should start a spin-off podcast where we just decide upon new spellings for abbreviations.
I'm into it.
Or how to pronounce things. Like, Hank, do you ever wonder how to, remember back in the day when instead of saying BRB, if someone was going to be gone for a while from the internet, they would write AFK away
sure.
from keyboard?
Yep.
I always used to pronounce that in my head as AFK,
Sure.
but I've never known how to pronounce BRB. You know,
Burb.
Is it burb?
Sure.
Is it brub?
Burb.
Burb?
That makes sense. It's interesting when we look at words that don't have vowels, the noise that we put in. I talked to a linguist about this one time. Is this sort of like what we call like a neutral vowel sound? I don't know if we call it that, but in English, it's sort of a U sound, like and like burb, b. And actually, if you listen to English very systematically, though, that's most of the noises we make are these noises, and we don't even think about it. But like if I just said about, that's an A, but in fact I just said about.
Right.
And it's so like it's more of a U noise than an A noise. Who knows why and how linguists figure this stuff out, but I was fascinated to talk about it. And that is a really great story I told.
That was a really great story, but it wasn't as good as the 12 minutes that we spent analyzing how to write as per usual.
Oh man, I feel like we're probably I feel like we're at a low questions per episode right now.
Yeah, we haven't. This has not been our best work.
Yeah.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Our Best Work. You didn't get it today. Hank, what did we learn today?
Oh goodness gracious, I don't know.
I'll tell you the main thing we learned. We learned that it takes two full-grown adults a solid 20 minutes to spell the word "huge."
Pretty purple.
I'll tell you what, Hank, I see a lot of purple tank tops. Maybe, yeah, I mean, we've clearly, it's a very popular color for tank tops, but there is one purple-ish tank in Slovenia. I wish I could tell you the city name, but unfortunately, those letters do not go together in a way that can be pronounced by human tongues.
Yes. I think that it's pronounced huge.
I thought you were actually going to take a crack at it, but no, you went for the easy joke.